Are you ready for the most wanted plant updates of the year? Hi, I'm Kristina from Leafy, and today I want to take you on a ride through all of the plant projects I did to foster my houseplant collection in 2022 and just tie up all of the loose ends of all the projects, how the plants, propagations and DIYs ended up in the long run. Let's go. Number one is by far the most wanted update of all of my plant projects, and it's about my Anthurium forgetii seedlings. 10 months ago in February, I got 9 seeds of a friend from Instagram. It was my first time germinating any seeds whatsoever. I used perlite, soil and moss. 8 weeks later, I had my little Anthurium baby seedlings potted in soil, ready to go. That's what you saw, but what happened next? They are still alive, mostly, and I want to show you how they are doing. We have the sphagnum germination, perlite germination, soil germination. 1 out of the 9 seeds did not germinate at all. 4 seedlings are severely behind the curve. These were germinated in soil, sphagnum and perlite. And I think they didn't take the move out of the prop box very well. Each batch has 1 seedling that did exceptionally well. On a few, you can already see the characteristic closed sinus of the Anthurium forgetii. Starting with the soil seedlings. These were germinated in soil. This is by far my biggest seedling that did the best. It has the biggest leaves, the most growth so far. These are the 2 stunted ones. One of them has caught up a little bit and looks okay now. It's currently growing a new leaf, and one of them is still very, very small. Next we have the perlite germinated seeds. We had 3 out of 3 successful germinations, and this is the biggest and healthiest seedling of them all. They were all potted in this 1 terracotta pot. One day I decided to separate them. So this is number 2. It's a little misshaped and it has a little variegation here, might be a sport. And then we have 1 sad little seedling. You probably can't even see it. Down here there's still a stem. It's not squishy or anything, it's not rotting. So maybe it will just regrow. Lastly, and probably one of the worst outcomes, would be these sphagnum propagated seedlings. Still on the smaller side, but I think comparable. Can't see the closed sinus on this one yet. And then we have an absolute shame of a seedling right here. This seedling has lost its leaves, and I guess this leaf is going to go as well. Down here we have still the ungerminated seed. It's still doing nothing. There are a few interesting things I'd like to point out here. Number 1, I highly suggest perlite germination. It was the most successful for me in terms of germinating, but also afterwards in seedling growth. The seedlings had more prolific root growth, and I think this is very important for successful plants. Number 2, I should have separated them earlier. After germination, I potted 3 seedlings into one of these terracotta pots, and I just kept them in there in the prop box for quite a while. It seems to me that the 1 big and healthy seedling kind of stole from the smaller ones, which in turn stunted their growth even further. It is after I separated them, put them into their individual pots, kept them here out in my grow shelf, that's when I saw some true progress in growth happening. Number 3, and I'm speaking from experience here, don't keep them in a prop box for way too long with little to no air circulation, because it will melt the leaves, which then stunts the growth even further. And well, it was kind of stupid of me. Next up, growlight review. This year I installed 2 grow lights, and pretty much exactly 1 month ago I hung up the Spider Farmer SF600 right here, and I promised to give you an extended update on it. Let's start with a few pros. It is an affordable light, but it doesn't mean that it's not packed with power, because it's extremely bright. Next, it's really pretty. It has a sleek white optic with a glossy finish, and just 2 little logos on each side. I really like that. There is no noise and very little heat emission on this lamp, which is important if you want to hang it in a living space or a shelving unit. It has the perfect color temperature in my opinion, not too yellow, not too blue, and it's energy efficient because of the LEDs used in this system. Now I did track the growth of the plants since I installed it, so let's have a look.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before the new. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing.
Now, after using it for another month, I can definitely say it stood the test of time perfectly. The plants are doing fine. It is more than sufficient to light a space like this with this height, but it cannot be all roses and butterflies. I have a little con as well. Up here I have a mycans growing up the pole, and if you have your plants too close to the light, since it is so strong, it will burn or bleach your leaves. Unfortunately, the light is not dimmable. That is my one tiny little baby complaint on it, which isn't really an issue because if you're a little bit more careful, you can adjust the height accordingly and then you'll be alright. Spider Farmer was so nice to sponsor this part of the video again. Thank you, Spider Farmer. So if you want to check out the Spider Farmer SF600 for yourself, then click the first link down in the description, and you can also check out all the other great and affordable lighting options and accessories on the Spider Farmer website. If you do decide to buy something, then don't forget to use code Leafy to get another 3% off your order. Thank you! I might have hurt my knee a little bit on this one. I do want to show you, oh my goodness. I do want to show you the grow wall as well. It's looking pretty good, but I will make a separate video on this one. Sorry. Another fan favorite, the Philodendron El Chocorat. Back in May, 7 months ago, I was struggling with this plant so much. It had severe root rot. The leaves would always come out and rip themselves. My only option at this point was to cut the plant up completely, restart it and hope for the best. I air layered the top cutting, chopped up several stem cuttings and rerouted the leftover mother plant in perlite. And here are the results. Starting with the top cutting, I had potted up right away. It got this new leaf right here. It also got spider mites, unfortunately. Then all of the roots died back and I had to reroot it. Luckily, it's rerooting very well so far. Fingers crossed. And it also grew another perfectly fine leaf. 2 out of the 4 stem cuttings that I took unfortunately died and are rotting in plant hell now, I guess. It's not growing very fast or very well, but they are alive. This was, well, the rest of the mother plant. I had to completely reroot. So this was one piece actually. The first new leaves emerged and I potted it, only to then notice new root rot again. Now I'm propagating out of this stump again and we are getting a new shoot here. But guys, perlite is my preferred way to prop things. It works like a charm every time. It was a good decision, I think. This was the last leaf and then now we are already greeted with another leaf coming in. Now with all that said, I am a little hesitant to pot these babies back into soil for obvious reasons. So it's still a struggle, but it is getting better every day. But did you notice anything? You're right. No ripped leaves so far. So I might have solved at least one of the issues I had in the beginning. fingers crossed. Again, please stay that way. And please don't hate me, okay? Because I really like this plant. Moving on with the Monstera elbow cuttings. These were 100% successful. Such a breeze to propagate. All of the single node cuttings are growing well, getting new leaves. I already sold a ton of them. The little experiment with the node drainage, also doing well. Just got a new leaf. And then I have my huge top cutting that I took. And let me show you. It is continuing to grow very well. And I am pleased with how everything went. Let's speed this up a little bit. Number 5, the Queen Anthurium. This is one of my most exciting propagations, I think. And look, this is the top cutting that I took way back when. It just unfurled a new leaf that is totally intact, totally big, and just amazing. I got 2 of the pups still with me, doing okay, I think. Oh, I think it needs to be watered. Moving on to number 6. The Philodendron grantianum. And don't get me wrong, it is still a shitty plant. It's still a diva, and some leaves still look ugly. But up here, look at those beauties. These new leaves look so fine. They are bigger than before. They unfurl properly. Can you imagine? Mykins is doing fine. Import plants doing fine.
Palmania propagation, check. Full propagation shelf is a check. Pothos props, check. Full prop boxes, check. Looking back at all of these clips really make me...
Looking back at all of these clips really made me think, and I oftentimes get lost in the present. I'm stressed out, depressed, or very unsatisfied with my accomplishments or lack thereof. Recapping all of these plenty projects really made me appreciate the YouTube channel, the interactions with you guys watching, answering comments, and it made me realize that I did accomplish something and I can be proud of what I do here on this channel, and that there are people enjoying what I do and I'm helping people with knowledge about houseplants, and this makes me, well, proud and really happy. We are almost at 5,000 subscribers on this channel. I never thought this would be possible for someone like me. We're almost there, so if you watch my videos and you're not subscribed yet, then maybe now is the time to start the year off and finally smash that subscribe button. And with this, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking around, sharing the love of plants, writing all of these kind comments, questions and answers. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, enjoy your plants and goodbye! Love you. Let's make this year a great one. Okay, bye guys. Subscribe. Bye. 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 Let's be gone now.